sketches me out because they wobble and the wheels just go all over the place. But
one of those will be how I do it. I'm not sure how yet, but I read it on the internet.
Hey guys, welcome back. DMAC Customs, Dave here. Got my engine crane, so it's been picked up my engine crane from the old brother-in-law, aka Uncle Pencil Legs, and so I can pull the motor out and put it somewhere else in the area 51 project. Hopefully you can see this, it's not too bright behind me, but yeah, so I just got to get that off there by myself now, so feel good. Okay, let's do it. Need to take a breath. Yeah, so back on the Area 51, going to take the motor out and start blowing the chassis apart, stripping all the front end, take the diff and everything back out of it, and then so we can get into finishing it up and see how far we get in this video. Probably not very far. Anyway, let's get at it. What do you think of my shirt? Would you guys be interested in merch if I did a merch store or did some shirts and that? Let us know in the comments and see whether it's kind of worthwhile doing. Also, it would be like a print on demand type thing like Teespring, or it's just called Spring now or something like that. That way, because most of my sort of subscribers, all 470 odd is, and watches are based in the US. So it might be kind of a bit easier on shipping and stuff like that, whereas if I got them printed here and then had to ship them from New Zealand, shipping might kind of get up there price wise, but it could be neither here nor there, because the print on demand shirts are generally a bit dearer than like if I got a whole bunch just screen printed locally, you know what I'm saying? Something to look at, let me know. I've got a few other designs and a couple of other things in mind that sort of relative to the bomb truck and the Area 51, and some other random sort of stuff that I've drawn and things like that. So let us know in the comments if you'd be interested. Let me know what you think. Alrighty, so let's find some places to put some things. Tidy out some stuff, then we'll get the body out onto the driveway so we can get the old frame up in the air and pluck that motor out of there. Rhymed. And yeah, gotta move some stuff around anyway, and because I'm thinking I might put the motor and gearbox over here behind where the truck normally lives, but then I've got to find places to put that shit, which might end up back on the back of the truck, unless I need to use it, and then I'll put it somewhere else. Alright, I guess I might jack this up, put it on stands and stuff so I can get the old crane underneath it, because the legs just want to hit everything. And yeah, I'm going to start picking this thing apart. got to take that wheel off just to make it easier in theory. Right, this time. Right, just got to undo the old these. Okay, helps if I've got the right size socket, but just going to have to undo the mounts and stuff. Must be a 9/16. Who would have thunk it? Yep, 9/16. Quickly undo these. Is that undo? No, that feels like it's doing it up. I always get confused when I got to do these things upside down. Don't know why, always have. What was that noise? Okay, no, I'm going to have to rejig my tying. I want to try to get it to take the weight at about the same time, whereas the trans is lifting up and the motor's not. It's just turning. Alright, let's try that again. I've tied a knot in that the proper way. Ooh, just taking it off that mount. What's that one doing? Oh, that one's still holding weight, so might just take that one out. Oh, damn it. What the fuck? Don't do that, make noises like that. Knock that out. Oh, come on. Okay. I need to put this camera down. Well, okay, motor's out. Nice and easy when you just got to kind of lift up. Still gives me the willies lifting them up high on these engine cranes. I don't know whether it's just some kind of self-preservation type instinct that just sketches me out because they wobble and the wheels just go all over the place, but she's out anyway. So I'm going to put it there, get that crane out of the way, and then put the Maury's new heart next to it, and I don't know what I'm going to do with those Thunderbird seats that are going in 51. I don't want to store them in there because I don't want the body too heavy while it's on that cradle thing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know I built it, but so let's sort this crane out, put my nuts and bolts and stuff out. Alright, just going to knock out the rubbers on the old engine mounts now and bag them up with the engine mount bolts, because I think it's the right thing to do. So just got to punch these out if I can get them out. Okay, so that's them out. I'll back them up. Okay. Engine mounts. Now what? Suppose I can blow apart the whole frame, take the bags out, sway bar, and all that stuff. Let's do it. String came with. Alright, that was a mission getting that sway bar off, I tell you. It's been so long since I put it on, but yeah. But anyway, onwards and upwards, take the rest of this part. Always put your nuts back on, lads. Just like that, right. Don't want to mess up my wheel alignment. Alright, I might get this rack out the way and then I'll do these A-arms. Oh, and my bump stops that I made the other week.
thought they were still.
You know, like threaded in there, but get the socket. That did it. Alright, I might take those little dog bones off and take that whole hoojimi what's it off as the one thing, and then separate that ball joint and stuff on the bench, I reckon. How do these work? Oh, like that. They just fall out. Oh, there's the other one on the floor. Oh, maybe you don't take them all the way out. Maybe you just turn them. I don't know. Yeah, look at that. There's nearly a net on there. Sweet. Right, take the other side off. Alrighty, so that's the front end disassembled. Now there's a few things we've got to kind of address with this front end, like some of the welds and that in here. I want to kind of grind them out and do them again. I've got a clearance this where these white marks are for the power steering lines. There was a different set of engine mounts welded onto this at some stage, and there's been some leftover stuff, so I want to tidy that up, tidy up some of these welds. Trying to decide whether to redo some of the actual cross member welds because they weren't done by me. Could be a good thing, but they look like they're just those little cold kind of stitch welds, not like kind of full heat penetrations. And when I got this car, it had a different rear axle and stuff on it with a different 4-link setup already welded on, and put it this way, the welds looked nice and tidy, but one little kind of clout with a hammer and they just broke off. So I'm a bit kind of concerned now about how much heat was put into the welds on this main cross member and these top hats on the Heights Mustang 2 front end. So I'm thinking I might just give them a little bit of a booger up. Just chuck some more weld in there anyway, something like that. I'll give them all a wire brush, wire wheel, get in there and have a proper look-see, and then make a judgment call from there. But just, I mean, if my name's going to be on it, it might as well be on it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah? Okay, so now let's get all that crap out. Alrighty, okay, Take all this apart, starting with, I'll take the bags out, then I'll take the shocks out, and then I'll figure out how to get the diff housing out, whether leave the wheels on it, jack the frame up, suspend it there, roll the whole lot out the back, or take the wheels off and drag it out with a jack. One of those will be how I do it. I'm not sure how yet, but start with getting some tools. Probably pull these hoses out of these fittings first. Booyah! So these bags here, this one, it's got a big like ooga mark in there, like from something. So never run those, because that'll just leave you on the side of the road one day. That would. Ask me how I know. I read it on the internet. Come on, yeah. That's two. This is a Firestone bag. Are they any good? Any bag people out there know Firestone to make good bags? Whew, hey. Cool, dropped it. One. Great having this little shelf here to put nuts and bolts and stuff on. Alrighty, so shocks out, bags out. Just wanted to show you guys something here. This is a 4-link kit that I bought from Summit Racing, right? And the brand name is Helix. Now, I bought it basically because it was cheap, and it's just a universal 4-link, triangulated 4-link kit. Now, brackets and that, yeah, they all are pretty good. The welds look good, thickness is good, all that kind of stuff. But the hardware that come with them is all too short. Like, check this out. This is the bolts that for the top of there, right? Now, it doesn't even come into the nylock. So by our standards, it's about 10 millimeters too short, or 7/8 of a gnat's cock. And I don't know how big it is in imperial stuff. Like, that's just another language. It doesn't make much sense to like us down here. Does my dad, he gets it, but I don't know what anyway I digress. So like, all the hardware that came with this thing, every single nut and bolt is too short. Every bolt is too short. Nuts are fine, but they are too short. None of them actually go all the way through far enough. Even the big long mamma jamma that holds the lower shock mount and stuff, it's too short. Like, every single one of them is like 10 mil too short. It's like, what is wrong with them? And the other thing is, this is a 3/4 thread on these adjusters, right? And it's threaded into this bar here, alright? And the threads aren't that deep, so it's sketching me out a little bit. So these may just be mock-up bars, which is kind of pisses me off, because I've already kind of bought it and welded it all in before I kind of realized that there was some fundamental areas. The hardware, yeah, I'll just go and buy some new nuts and bolts from the nuts and bolts shop. Probably cost me a small fortune in today's money. But the arms, which is the bit that I wanted someone else to make, like properly, there's what's concerning me is how much thread is actually cut into this tube. It's just, I might show you one day, but it just doesn't look deep enough. So I'm a bit sketched out by these arms. And yeah, I don't know, what do you reckon about those welds? I mean, are they any good? That looks all like kind of undercut and stuff. I might just give them to someone and say, hey, make me some good ones, these dimensions, but not the thread cut the same way. Anyway, let's get back at it. I just wanted to kind of tell you about that and how I'm not really that impressed with this helix triangulated four-link thing. Well too late to kind of even contemplate contacting Summit about it, because it was been a couple of years since I ordered it. Sat in a box here for 8-9 months, and then it finally came out. I didn't really know what I was looking at the time. I just never done one before, never bought one before. Started piecing it together, noticed the hardware, thought nah, let's buy some more. And then it wasn't until I actually had those arms apart that I noticed that the pitch of the cut thread inside the arm, the bar, looks quite shallow. It doesn't look like the full pitch of a 3/4 thread, if that makes sense. Anyway, carry on. Alrighty, so that's the entire chassis stripped, other than that cross member and that drive shaft loopy thing, which I'll just leave them there for now because there's a little bit I want to do. I want to put a 4th bolt through there, but I have to drill and tap it in situ, and one of them's real crooked. I didn't notice that until today. Maybe I noticed it and then ignored it and hope it would get better by itself, but it hasn't, so I've got to fix that. So next up on this chassis is I gotta go, like I said earlier, I gotta fix that. Like, I'll weld that up. These holes here, they're for the coil mounts, so I've got to fix those. If you remember correctly, I actually forgot about that till I saw those holes and was wondering what they were for. Want to re-weld some of the stuff around here. I gave that a little bit of a wire wheel. I don't know if you can see it, but that's and that's kind of looks like it kind of cold weld, so I might just clean all this up and just kind of give it another pass, a bit more spread on it. I got to do some clearancing here for the power steering lines coming off the rack, clean up some of this stuff a bit, and probably fix those holes as well. These other holes here, I might just weld all those up, get rid of them. I'm gonna sneeze. Oi! Right, where was I? I've got to finish welding on these plates for the trans cross member. down there. What are these pads? Are these a factory thing or what? I don't know. They kind of, there's original paint and stuff underneath. Maybe they are. I might take a note of those and keep them. I've got a body mount rubber kit for this, but it's not for this model, so I'm gonna have to do some making some shit up as I go along kind of stuff. But yeah, need to put those isolators back in. Most of them seem to sit on these body mounts. Anyway, that one there looks a bit scody, but it might clean up alright. Down the back here, this is all pretty much dialed in. Those are dialed in. Those I might drill that extra hole we talked about in the other video, so I can move those bottom arms up if need be, and then slice that off if need be. Back here, there's a few little things to finish up, as well as all the Russian stuff, but there's a few dings and dents in this rear cross member where people have been hooking chains and stuff onto their thing. There's a wee ding there that I might have to try and kind of fix just for aesthetics. I don't think it's a structural problem, it's just, you know, while it's got a dent, it's bound to have pulled the chassis a little bit in some way, but I'm gonna fix it anyway. And a few little bits here that need kind of cleaning up. Someone's welded something to here at some stage. I think possibly when the floors were done in the body by the previous owner and his mates. And then there's just kind of cleaning up some of my welds that I've done up the front here and redoing them, and descaling the crap off the frame, like all of this. You know, it's going to take a little bit of kind of work with wire wheels and sanders, and I'm going to try all sorts of shit on it. I've got this scaler that works kind of alright, but my compressor can't quite keep up with it. So that's next, but that's enough for today. I'm not going to start any of that crap. Hell no. I don't know where I'm going to start next, but that'll be in a future video, maybe next one or one after, or the one after that, but we will start chipping away at it. All the front suspension components, these have all got to be cleaned up. I'm going to have to take those ball joints out and clean them up and re-grease them and everything, because they've been sitting in here for years in this front end and didn't have the boots on or didn't have grease nipples in, so hopefully they're still alright. And then I've got to kind of clean all that up, get all that stuff ready to paint. Not going to powder coat, fuck that, and I'm just going to paint everything. I'm going to paint everything in such a way that if I have to take it off and modify or fix or change anything, it's going to be easy to repaint. Alright, so it's not going to be fancy shiny like mirrors under the floor type shit at a car show and stuff. This is driver quality, and it's just going to be, you know, repairable, patchable, washable, and not rusty. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so that's it for this video on pulling apart all the shit in the chassis, taking the motor out, finding a place to put it. Look, we've got a little motor train here, and it looks like it's like a little, you know, alpha pack leader and his little pup. But okay, that was a bit daft, but anyway, that's it for this video. If you liked this video, and even if you didn't like the video but you still want to see some more on the Area 51 progress, just subscribe anyway. You know, like it's not hard, just push the button. You can skip forward if you want to the end of the video. It doesn't, well, you'll miss stuff, you will, honest. Well, maybe, but anyway, that's it for this video, and subscribe, like, comment, share, all of that stuff. Hit the bell for notifications, and we're making progress. Well, kind of, it feels like we're going backwards, but we're actually going forwards, so we're making gains. So I've just got to drop this back down again now, and so car back in the garage. But anyway, rambling, till next time, take it easy, peace.